¿Qué pasó? We about to go live. Welcome to the auntie time with me, Queen Sabrina. Yep, happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday to you. Hope your Sunday has been amazing, like mine's has been, although we are in a storm right now. Okay, baby. I'm getting it set up on the TikTok. Okay. Got about 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Let's get a little bit of music going here. Let's see what I want to put out for y'all people. Let me see. Yes. I'll put a little burner on for y'all real quick. Let's get this TikTok popping. Happy Sunday to my people. Come on, TikTok, what you doing right now? This one I can do it. I know get tired. Welcome. Happy Sunday, everybody, here in the TikTok and the YouTube. Hope you guys are doing well this Sunday. I am. My Sunday is a little gloomy. We got a storm going on, but guess what? I'm still live and popping, okay, baby? Welcome, queens. Welcome, kings. Hey. If anybody know me, they know I'm a Burna Boy fan. Okay, the African giant. Hey. We're going to give it a little minute. I'm going to rock to this burner till it goes off. Okay. I still want some. Welcome. Welcome, my queens. Welcome, my kings. Happy Sunday, everyone. Hope your Sunday is going well. Like I said, I am in a storm here in the H-Town, okay? Won't be stopping me. I'm juggling, flow like the ocean. My boat, I'm paddling. That's my bro, my family. When it comes to money, make it concentrate. If I make a mission, I'm head upstate. I don't want time. Welcome, queens. Welcome, kings. Happy Sunday. Hope everyone is doing well out there. Welcome my people on YouTube. Welcome my people on the TikTok. Welcome. Monica, what's the complaint? G-Wagon or the Billy? Hey. Welcome, queens. Welcome. Welcome, kings. Julia Habana. Yeah. Welcome. We're going to get started in a few. I got my people on YouTube. Welcome, YouTube. Welcome, TikTok. Welcome to Auntie Time with me, Queen Sabrina. Okay? That's how we going to keep it each and every Sunday for you kings and queens. Okay? Welcome, Sky Rose. Welcome, B Tonicity. Welcome, Wild Willow. Welcome, kings and queens. Happy Sunday to everyone. Hope your Sunday has been well, because mine has been. Although we are in a little bit of a storm here, Hurricane Burlo has hit the Gulf Coast of Texas. So, baby, I am definitely getting a little bit of the rain. But we're going to welcome everybody in. Happy Sunday. As I always let you guys know, okay? John Sells and Annie Mae Curry birthed me, baby. The Pueblo del Rio housing projects in Los Angeles, California raised me. And Tennessee State University in Nashville, Tennessee educated me. And those are the three components that have molded me into the queen I am today. Okay? And if you don't know me, kings and queens, get to know me. That's all you got to do. So each and every Sunday, I drop a little bit of juice for you guys on how you can save a little bit of money on your food, your travel, give a little bit of dating tips and tricks. And then I'll also share with you guys my celebrity tea time picks, okay? So we're going to get into it. And as each and every Sunday, I always give a recap of what I talked about the previous Sunday. So welcome in, kings and queens. Welcome in. Make sure we're tapping that screen and liking the live and sharing it with another king or queen as well. So let's get into it. So our first topic is always talking about groceries, right? We all want to save money on that food. So last week I did a recap and I talked about how you can save money on necessity items like water, dry foods, and pasta and things like that. Talked about how you need to purchase that 5 gallon of water instead of purchasing 1 gallon of water. That's $1.39 when you can get 5 gallons for $1.50. We talked about that. I talked about preparing and planning for when you do go to the grocery store to make sure that you have your grocery list, make sure that you have your coupons, make sure you have that app already downloaded, right? Talked about that. Thank you, Queen, for joining. Thank you, Sunshine, for joining. Welcome in, everybody, all of my kings and queens here on TikTok and on the YouTube. Okay. We also talked about preparing for when your child is home from school. Make sure that we are adjusting that food budget. Make sure we are adjusting the type of food that we are buying in order to prepare for the children that are at the home, right? We talked about that as well, right? So what we're going to talk about today, because as I mentioned, kings and queens, that I am in a storm right now. So I thought I'd actually talk about things that we can do to prepare for a storm, what food we should get to prepare ourselves for a storm, for a time like this, because Queen, I am properly prepared. Okay. So, in the light of these things happening, okay, now this is the first strategy of being prepared for a storm. Let's talk about the type of foods that we should be buying, okay, in order to be prepared for that storm, okay? First things first, we should definitely be getting canned goods, okay? Things like soups, that you can easily warm up on the barbecue, okay? Maybe you have a generator and you're gonna have like an electric stove top. Things like soups, things like beans and chili, canned salmon and tuna. Or even the packets of the salmon and the tuna, you can get that too. Some dry foods that we should be having to prepare when we're in a storm like this, okay? Crackers, okay? Almond or peanut butter, okay? Whichever you prefer, because there are a lot of people out there that are actually allergic to peanuts. So almond butter is a good alternative, okay? Um, Powdered drinks, okay? Because I know you don't want to just drink water the whole entire time. So things like country time lemonade, we're not talking about Kool-Aid. We're talking about things like that. Maybe a little bit of iced tea you can mix up, Welcome everybody. Welcome Gemini Cheeks. Welcome Lauren Gooden. Welcome Cup Date. Welcome China. Welcome. Make sure we are tapping that screen, liking that live, and sharing it as well. Okay. Um, Other things that you can get that are dry food, chips, pretzels, okay, little snacks like the little cheese crackers that got the cheese inside. um Also, um granola bars, okay, trail mix, cereal. I know, we give our babies sometimes, we give them a little bit of Cheerios in a little bag, give them a little bit of, things like that. Thank you for following me. Those who follow me, definitely the queen will follow you back. Okay. Make sure we are liking that live and sharing it as well. Okay. Um, Fruit cups are things, because you might want a little bit of fruit in the storm. So get you some peaches, some pears, some pineapples, things like that, so that you still can have some fruit. Okay. But the number one thing that you need in a storm, kings and queens, is you need to have water. Okay. I say the minimum for each person in your household, you should have at least 2 gallons of water for each person. Okay. I preferably like to have 5 gallons of water per person, okay? Because 2 gallons of water can maybe last a person maybe about 2 weeks, depending on, your water conservation. Because in something like a storm, you do want to conserve. You don't want to overdrink. You don't want to overeat, okay? Thank you, Take Your Man, for joining. And I hope you don't take my man, but thank you for joining. Anywho, now, also, things to make sure that you have just in case for the food that you have in your refrigerator. Let's make sure that we are investing in a cooler, okay? Let's make sure that we have ice in our freezer. If you don't have a ice maker, you don't have a refrigerator that makes ice, guess what you can actually do? I know we got a little bit of old birthday balloons, laying around somewhere. Get some of those balloons, kings and queens, fill them with water, and then freeze those balloons. That way, those frozen balloons become frozen little circles. Okay. You can use that as ice to put in your actual cooler. Okay. So, those are a little bit of tidbits and ways that you can be prepared for a storm if it so comes to happen your way. Okay. And another little tidbit, make sure you have a grill. Okay. Make sure you have charcoal on hand. Okay. Because when the lights go out and the electricity goes out, if you don't have a gas stove, then guess what? You may need that grill to heat your food up, to even cook some food. Okay. So that is very important to invest in a barbecue pit, so that you can still be able to cook. Okay. Another little tidbit of information, if you guys did not know, okay, just in case you lose water, okay, we want to make sure that when you still have water and they're telling you that the storm is going to hit, fill your bathtub up full of water. Okay. How will this help you? Um, you can use that water to, number one, be able to flush your toilet. Because when you don't have water, you cannot flush your toilet. So we definitely want to be able to still flush our toilet and use the bathroom, right? Second reason why it's useful to fill your bathtub up with water, you can use that water to possibly wash dishes, while you are without electricity. You can also use some of that water and put it in a pot to maybe do a little bird bath. Okay, we're in survival mode right now. So you have to use what you have to get through what you need to get through. Okay, now if you have any questions, or if you even have some little bit more of some survival tips and tricks, let a queen know. Okay, but I'm just sharing with you how I survive. But another thing that I have made a good investment in is a small generator. Okay, I have a small generator that still allows me to be able to plug in a refrigerator, to plug in lights so that I can still have lighting, so that I can also still cook. It's also good to invest in An electric, maybe grill top or something like that. Something that if you have a generator, you still can be able to cook. Okay. So thank you, kings and queens, for joining. Make sure we're tapping that screen, liking that live. I'm trying to get to at least 1K likes today. Okay. Make sure we are sharing the live as well. Okay. So next topic, okay, is dating. Okay. And just keeping in with the theme of a storm. Okay. Last week we talked about, like I said, we did a wrap up. So we talked about knowing what battles to fight in your relationship in order to avoid a full fledged war. Okay. We also talked about roles in a relationship. Okay. You know, what you're good at, what your mate is good at, but not necessarily what society says that you should do. Okay. Thank you, Tara Foster, for joining the live. Okay. Also, we talked about having personal boundaries in your relationship. Okay. Meaning, you know, what do you care for your mate to have? Okay. Like I talked about, is it okay for your mate to have your cell phone passcode? Do you care or not to have your mate's cell phone password? I personally do not. Okay. Doesn't make me no difference. I don't care if he does or if he doesn't, because he's not going to find anything in my phone but me talking about him when he has gotten on my nerves. Okay. So let's move on to what we are talking about today. Like I said, keeping in line with the theme of storm. Okay. What and how are we preparing for a storm that may hit your relationship, right? So, what do I mean by that? Meaning, like, maybe you could endure your partner losing their job, meaning that you now have to deal with your partner not working, maybe being at home more, and you may necessarily have to step up just a little bit more. Okay. But what is a strategy to be able to deal with that? Maybe to deal with it before it even happens. Okay. I personally think that the best strategy for something like that is to ensure that when you guys are collectively living together, and whatever the household bills are, whatever the type of lifestyle that you want to live, let's try to make sure that you can live like that on one person's income, so that it doesn't necessarily become a strain if the other person loses their income, because the income that was lost was pretty much money that you were able to save, money you were able to do what you want to do with, but it wasn't necessarily your bread and butter income that if you lose it, you won't be able to survive. Okay. Now, what about a health condition? Okay. What if you find out your mate now, you know, has cancer or has diabetes or you know any type of health condition? Okay. I think that you should try to find out as much as you can about what they are going through to see how you can help and to see if there will be any lifestyle changes or adjustments that you may need to make. Okay. um what about pregnancy? Having a new addition to the family, that's definitely a huge storm. Okay. Thank you, Cap J Robin, for joining. That's definitely a huge storm that you would endure as a couple. Okay. Now, having a new addition to the family, definitely a blessing, right? But it's a huge adjustment for both parties. Okay. So, what I say the best strategy is to talk about what you expect from each person for them to do. You know, for example, a huge thing, the baby is crying at night, right? So let's decide how you're going to handle that, right? Meaning, who's going to get up, tend to the baby, you know, who's going to have that role? You know, how I particularly handled that situation because I breastfed. I don't know if a lot of you mothers out there breastfed your children, but I did. So what I decided as a strategy was, hey, let's both get up. I have to get up anyway because most of the time, if a baby is crying, it's because they're wet or they're hungry. So if I am going to have to feed the baby, let's both get up. Hey, father, you check and see if the baby's wet. If the diaper needs to be changed, go ahead and change that diaper. Once you change that diaper, pass that baby on to me, right? And then I'm going to feed the baby. And then you can go back to sleep. It allowed me to stay asleep a little bit longer because you got up first. And then I'm going to put me and the baby to sleep. So it's all about communication, okay? Have have an agreement on how you're going to proceed with certain things. That is how you minimize and be able to react to the storms that come along in your relationship, okay? Because relationships are not rainbows and butterflies, okay? They come with different things, different complications, okay? And different adjustments that you have to adjust to. So you want to be able to adjust to the storms that come in your relationship, right? Teamwork and communication, expectation, and understanding, okay, are key in preparing for a storm in your relationship. You know, some storms are small, some storms are big. But guess what? If we are prepared for them, then guess what? It shouldn't be much of an issue, right? So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you're putting them in the chat, okay? Make sure you're putting them in the chat over there on YouTube. I don't know if you guys can hear the rain outside, but like I said, I am in the midst of a storm, okay? Hurricane, what is it? Hurricane Berto? Bertram? Baby is hitting, okay? Anywho, so the next subject is traveling, okay? Make sure we're tapping that screen, liking the live, and sharing it as well. Um, Last week with travel, we talked about having um budgets, you know, when you go on vacation, having a food budget. Thank you, Mika, for joining the live. We talked about having an entertainment budget. Okay, we talked about having a transportation budget. We talked about having a souvenir budget. And we also talked about having a me time budget, right? Having all of these different budgets allows you to get an understanding of what it is that you have to pay for and you're preparing for it. Thank you, Mika, for the gift. Thank you for the friendship necklace, Mika. Thank you. Thank you. So we also talked about not being tied to a location, meaning having at least three locations that are about the same type of place, okay, that you want to go. Thank you, Mika, for the roses. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, so we want to make sure that we have at least three locations that are about the same, you know, type of place, like Mexico, Jamaica, San Diego, if you're trying to hit some beachy places, right? Do y'all guys hear that thunderstorm outside? Baby, I told y'all I am in the midst of a storm. Okay. Make sure we're tapping that screen, sharing and liking that live. Okay. Um Now, keeping up, like I said, with this storm theme here. Okay. Um Oh, Hurricane Burley. That's the name of the person who's hitting us hard right now. Now, how are we preparing ourselves for the weather in the places that we are traveling to? How are we doing that? Okay. First off, we need to what? We need to check the forecast. You know, we need to know before we go how the weather is going to be so that we actually know what to pack. Okay. I mean, a lot of times we get places and, you know, we ain't even looked at the weather. We get there, it's like, oh, we thought it was going to be sunny, but oh no, baby, it's raining and it's cold. Are you prepared for that? Okay. So here are some basic necessities, okay, that you need no matter what destination you are traveling to. Okay. Number one, umbrella. Like Rihanna say, Ella, Ella, a under my umbrella. Now, we typically think that an umbrella is used just for what? Rain. Okay? Not so much. You can also use an umbrella to block the sun. Okay? So let's make sure you have an umbrella just in case it rains, just in case it may be a little bit too hot for you. Okay? Another thing, sunscreen, okay? Because if you are going to a place where it's going to be hot, baby, you don't want that melanin to get burnt. I know a lot of black people think that, oh, we don't need sunscreen because we got the melanin popping. Yes, but we want to keep that melanin popping, baby. We don't want to get burnt, okay? So that is the reason why we need to make sure that we wear sunscreen, okay? Third thing, insect repellent. Okay, this is definitely a necessity. Okay, especially if you are going to any type of tropical destination. Okay, baby, because when I tell you the mosquitoes are bigger than your eyeball, and you have all type of different insects that could possibly bite you, that's not what you want to do. Thank you, Mika, for liking the live. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm trying to get to my 1K. Okay, so let's get that go. Make sure we're tapping that screen and sharing that live. Okay. Also, let me get a little bit of water here because when you talk, your throat gets a little dry. Okay. But anywho, another thing, make sure that you are packing a small first aid kit, okay? Because anything can happen. Maybe you got your heels on thinking you're sexy, you gonna fell and trip. You done scraped your knee all up. Maybe you need a little bit of band-aid. Don't always rely on the hotel to provide things for you. You need to be properly prepared, okay? Prepare yourself for your vacation. We're talking about preparing for a storm, right? Okay, women, okay, specifically for the queens, okay, not the kings. Make sure that you pack you some sanitary napkins, even if you have previously that week been on your monthly storm, okay? Because sometimes when we travel to a different destination, okay, and the altitude is a little bit higher, it definitely has an effect on us. So we want to make sure we are properly prepared for our monthly storm, no matter where we are. Right, Queens? Okay. Also, bring an extra phone charger, maybe a portable one, maybe one that you may just necessarily keep in your purse. Okay. Thank you, Debbie Schneider, for joining. Make sure that we're sharing that live and tapping that screen. Thank you. We have hit our goal of the 1.1K likes, kings and queens. Um, because maybe you just might so happen to leave that charger at the hotel, at the resort. Ahmad Islam, I do not know you. As I've stated before, please do not try to join my live because I don't know you. I do not know what may come out of your mouth. So I am not going to accept any invitations to come on my live. Thank you for the interest, but I am going to gladly decline. Okay. Thank you very much, Ahmad. Keep watching and keep joining and sharing my live. Thank you. Anywho, as I was stating, you may just leave that cell phone charger at the hotel. So if you got your backup, you ain't got to worry about, calling the hotel, trying to get the charger shipped, or you don't have to worry about trying to borrow or buy another one. Just bring that second one just in case something happens to the first one. Okay. Another thing, bring a little bit of sunglasses, kings and queens, because guess what? The sun is going to be out if you're going to a tropical destination. That is another way to block and protect your skin from the sun. But also, baby, sunglasses also make you look a little bit of fly, a little bit of jazziness to you. So make sure that we are doing that. Thank you, Kay Lavish, for joining the live. Okay. Um, Another thing that you need to bring to prepare yourself on vacation for the storm. Bring a little bit of extra emergency cash, okay? Whether it is in a form of a credit card or whether it's in a form of actual cash, okay? Make sure we're tapping that screen, liking the live, and sharing that live, okay? Because you always want to be prepared, okay? But most importantly, to prepare ourselves for a storm on a vacation, right? Make sure that someone that you trust, okay, should always know your itinerary and you should always send them your location, right? Because anything could happen, okay? With all the stuff that's been happening with people going missing on vacation, people getting killed on vacation, okay? We definitely want to make sure that someone knows where we are at all times, okay? It is very important to make sure that someone is aware of your location when you are on vacation, okay? Make things make sense, okay, kings and queens? Now, let's say, and like they always say, if you stay ready, baby, you ain't got to get ready. So you got to be properly prepared, okay, with all the items that I told you guys to bring on your vacation, right? Thank you, ATL Accessories, for joining and liking the live. Make sure we're tapping that screen, liking the live, and sharing the live as well, okay? Welcome, 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 everyone on YouTube as well. Now, we have come to the portion of Auntie Time with me, Queen Sabrina, for my celebrity tea time picks. You know, as always, I share two people that I would love to have tea with and pick their brains a little bit, okay? And what questions I may want to ask them. So, as always, okay, I always give homage to the queen herself, Wendy Williams, the queen of spilling the tea. How you doing, Wendy? Okay. Anywho, so the first celebrity tea time pick for today is the king himself, Snoop D-O-double-G. Okay, Snoop Doggy Dog. Okay, aka Calvin Brodus is his government name. If you guys did not know. Now, Snoop Dogg is a West Coast legend. Okay, baby, I am from Cali. The West Coast is the best coast. Although I am in Houston, the H Town, baby, I am always repping for the West Coast. Now, I first came to remember Snoop, okay, from that Ain't Nothing But a G Thang video with Dr. Dre. One, two, three, into the four. Snoop, Doggy, Dr. Dre is at the door. What'd he say? Okay. That was how I first came to meet you, Snoop. Okay. Then you came with your anthem. What was it? Snoop Doggy Dogg. Remember that? Yeah, he was like, "What's my name?" You know, I don't want to get banned on TikTok because TikTok is tripping. Anywho, now, then you hit us with that what? Rolling down the street, smoking, sipping on gin and juice, laid back with my mind on my money and my money on my mind, right? That was Snoop. Okay? Now, I'm going to say this. Now, about every song, Snoop, that you came out with was definitely inappropriate for my age to be singing it, right? You know, now the name of your first album was definitely inappropriate because it was called Doggy Style. Now, but this is the thing though, Snoop. You always just had a little bit of swag about you. You know, that it was like you was bad, but you was good at the same time. Now, that's what I kind of think everybody liked about you. Um, because you were chilled out. You was repping the LBC to the fullest, okay? But the most important thing, Snoop, that I loved about you is that, baby, you was with your high school sweetheart, Shantae, baby. Still been with Shantae. Shout out to the boss lady herself, okay? So that's the main thing I love about your king, Snoop, okay? Now, when you got that murder, okay, it was murder was the case that they gave you, baby. You beat that case, Snoop, and we was all rooting for you, okay? The city was really behind you during that trial. I remember you sitting in that courtroom. I was like, man, they about to take my boy down, but you beat that case, okay? Now, then you and Pac came out with that what? That single. Ain't nothing but a gangsta party, party. Because he had them beat his case. Then you done beat your case. So y'all was two of America's most wanted. Okay? Y'all was in that thing. Now, excuse me. Okay? If y'all can relate to some of this, baby, because I'm definitely on my West Coast vibe. Okay? So, excuse moi for that. Now, but Snoop, I'm going to tell you what kind of threw us for a loop, though, for a little bit, though. Now, when you sign with Master P and the No Limit Records, baby, I knew that wasn't gonna last too long. Okay. Because they just didn't have your style. I think it was more of a business move for you. You was trying to get away from Death Row, but that wasn't the move for you. Okay. It just didn't fit you. You a king of the West Coast. What we doing over there with Master P and No Limit? No. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about your accolades and accomplishments, King Snoop, because I definitely want to give you your flowers, okay? We're going to give you your flowers, King, because you have sold 35 million copies worldwide. We ain't talking about just in the United States. We talking about worldwide, okay? Um, you have 19 studio albums, okay? Now, one of my favorite albums of yours, Snoop, is The Blue Carpet Treatment. With that song, You Want It, I Got It, Dripping Like Water. That was my song, Snoop, okay? And you have your own, Pop Warner League, football league where you got the youngest playing football under your name, okay? You have been in 86 movies, Snoop. Okay, did y'all know that? Okay, but my favorite movie was when you was in Baby Boy. Okay, where you was playing Rodney, Yvette's ex. Okay, now Slim, you was Snoop, you was Slim with the tilted brim. In that movie, you came out of that hallway looking tall like a toothpick. It ain't nothing wrong with that because Shantae loved you, baby. Somebody got to love you. But, okay, that was one of my favorite movies. Now, you are also in 17 video games, okay? Whether you have done a voiceover for the video game, whether you are a character in the video game, or a character that someone can purchase and play with you, Snoop. Okay, I don't know if y'all knew that, okay? But most importantly, Snoop, baby, you done had a whole nother show, a cooking show with another criminal, aka Martha Stewart. Okay, because I'm gonna let y'all know, yes, she's a criminal. She went to jail. Okay, so you had a cooking show with her. That was shocking for everybody. I'm pretty sure it was shocking for her too. But what I can say, Snoop, you was about that bag. You was about them coins. Okay, because money has no color but green. Okay, now I know, Snoop, I have not scratched the surface, okay, on each and everything you have done in your career because you are still accomplishing things, okay? The most recently, you are the owner of Death Row Records, okay? So that's definitely accomplishment that you own the record label that you used to be on that you left, and then now you own it. So, but nevertheless, um, the main title that no one shall ever not take from you, Snoop, is that you are the king, one of the kings of the West Coast. And if anybody wants to dispute that, please, please make a comment. Please, please join the live because I will gladly let you know that Snoop the Lion is definitely a king of the West Coast. Now, as I stated, I always like to ask about two questions that I would want to ask you, Snoop. Okay. So, first question. Okay. Now, I have noticed that none of your sons rap. None of them are in the entertainment industry. I believe your daughter Chocolate is. But I just want to know, why is that? Did they not have any interest in it? Did you not want him to have any interest in the industry? Or are they working behind the scenes? Because you have businesses and so does your wife. So maybe they're working behind the scenes. So I just want to know what's up with that because they do live a little bit of private lives. Secondly, okay, what's your take on this Drake and this Kendrick Lamar beef? Because I did notice that you were not in attendance at the concert where he had all of a lot of different West Coast legends, i.e., Dr. Dre was there, DJ Mustard was there, Tommy the Clown was there. A lot of people was there, but there was no Snoop. So, what's your take on that? Are you just, shying away from it? Okay, what's going on with that? Okay, what's your opinion on that? Now, so those are my two questions for Snoop D-O-G-G, aka King of the West Coast. Okay, one of the kings of the West Coast, because we have a couple of more, but you are definitely one of them. Okay, now our second person I would love to have tea with. Because we gonna keep it West Coast with the West Coast vibes. A lot of people may not know this person, okay? But it is DJ Quick, okay? AKA David Marvin Blake is his government name, okay? Now, definitely, like I said, keeping it West Coast. Now, DJ Quick, how I got introduced to you, okay? It was not by choice. It was definitely by force, okay? Not none of your songs I should have been listening to. I should have known at that age, okay? But how I got introduced to you is by my oldest sister, Vatinia Allen, aka we call her Bubbles. Baby was definitely a DJ Quick fan and still is to this day. Okay. Now every song that you came out with had a curse word, had some type of derogatory word towards the female body. Okay. Now were the songs catchy? Yes, they were. Okay. They were definitely very catchy. Okay. I remember riding with my sister in her tan two-door Cadillac, baby, with the sounds booming, okay? And it was you coming out the 808s, okay? DJ Quick was in the house, okay? So yes, okay, that is how I came to know you. Now, nevertheless, you are a true West Coast legend, okay? You have really made your name though, DJ Quick, behind the scenes, okay? As a producer, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys may know some of these songs, like I mentioned previously. Tupac and Snoop, two of America's most wanted, ain't nothing but a gangsta party. DJ Quick produced that song. Okay. Kendrick Lamar's King Kunta. DJ Quick produced that song. Okay, YG's My Hitters, My Hitters. Yeah, DJ Quick produced that song. Okay, 50 Cent, If I Can't. I'm not sure what song that is, 50, but DJ Quick produced that song. Okay, Tupac, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. DJ Quick produced that song. She's so contagious. Truth hurts. DJ Quick produced that song. Okay. Those are just to name a few of the songs this West Coast legend has produced. Okay. Now, everyone in the United States, they have to know this song, that born and raised in Compton. Compton. Everybody got to know that. If you don't know that, I don't know where you've been. If you 40 and up, you know that song. If you from LA, you know that song. Okay. So I definitely, DJ Quick, wanted to give you your flowers, okay? Because you deserve them. You are, a West Coast legend too. I may not call you a king, maybe call you a prince of the West Coast, but you are definitely a West Coast legend that deserves his flowers, okay? But just to double back a little bit of how I came to know you, like I said, my sister was a DJ Quick fan, okay? And she also, she was in love with your voice, okay? That was the main thing. She was trying to find out what you look like, because at that point in time, I guess in the 80s, you guys weren't really making a whole lot of videos to go with your songs. So late 80s, early 90s, I want to say. So when she finally, DJ Quick, got to see your face and what you look like, I don't think she was really impressed. But nevertheless, she still remained a fan. And it's not to say that you are not a nice looking gentleman. You're not ugly. There is a cup of tea for everyone, but I guess you just were not her cup of tea. She likes them a little light bright, and you didn't fit that category. But anywho, now, DJ Quick, these are the two questions that I have for you. Now, what made you stop making albums? Because you didn't really make too many albums. I can really say maybe you got about 4 or 5, and that may be too much. But was it because like you didn't want to go like super mainstream? Because I really think that you could sell some albums. Oh, another song that I forgot that DJ Quick produced, that I know everybody know this song. Let's Get Down, Let's Get Down, Let's Get Down by Tony Tone. So like I said, he's produced and made his things behind the scene. He just really hasn't been in the forefront of an actual performer. Okay. Thank you, God's child, for joining and liking the live. Make sure we're sharing and tapping that screen. And second question for you, DJ Quick. Why didn't you do like a lot of features on other people's songs? Or why didn't you collaborate with any other artist? Because I didn't really see that. I don't really see you being on a lot of other people's songs besides you being on that Tony Tone song where you did a little rap verse on that. But as far as like other rappers, maybe I'm not just aware, but I just don't really recall you doing a lot of collaboration. So I just wanted to know why that was, okay? But the main thing I want to know is, why did you stop making music, okay? So that is it, and that is all for the celebrity tea time picks, okay? Thank you all for joining me. If you guys have any questions or comments out there on YouTube or on TikTok, let me know, okay? Comment, like, tap the screen, share the live, okay? Like I tell you, I am here each and every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 5 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay? Thank you, Allure the Look Accessories, for liking the live. And I will see you kings and queens next Sunday. And also, I will also be logging on during the week more often, okay, to share a little bit of advice and things that I'm going through as a mother, as well as 30-minute business consults, okay? So make sure you are joining the live. Make sure you are getting my notifications, okay? That I am live, okay? Thank you, Mika. We are at 1.9K likes. My goal was 1K, so I have exceeded that for today. All right. See you next time, kings and queens. And as always, if you don't know me, get to know me. Also, DM me any questions, comments, and concerns. Okay. Peace and blessings. Why you just can't keep your regular voice? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why you cannot be